This time it's a couple of estates that dare to be different. The first has 345 brake horsepower and costs £50,000. But contrary to its appearance, it's not a factory BMW. And it's not powered by a high-performance petrol engine, but a diesel one. This is the Alpina D3 by Turbo Touring. The second car also has 345 brake horsepower and also costs £50,000. But it's not even German. In fact, this load-lugging express comes from super-safe Swedish car makers Volvo. This is the V60 Polestar. I'll start with the Alpina. According to Alpina, this D3 is the world's fastest diesel production car when it's flat out, 171 miles an hour. It's pretty quick in the 0 to 62 mile an hour dash as well, taking just 4.6 seconds. Those performance figures and the power are impressive stats, but as with all diesels, the biggest talking point is the torque. This has got 516 pound-foot of the stuff. That is Porsche 911 turbo territory. All that comes from a modified version of BMW's 3-litre straight-six engine with a couple of variable geometry turbos thrown in. And what does that torque mean to you when you're driving? Well, relentless acceleration. So overtaking ability is fantastic. You don't have to frenetically scurry around for any gears. You can just use that torque. When you're on a track, you can sharpen up the throttle and the steering responses. But even when you're in normal comfort mode, this car is sportier than the 3 Series donor car. How sporty? Well, let's start the clock. This car's got an 8-speed gearbox with little buttons behind the steering wheel for fingertip control. Does the car need 8 gears? I don't think so. 6 would be more than enough. Even though it's a rear-wheel drive car, the most obvious characteristic is understeer, and then it'll go to oversteer. It feels quite sucked down to the ground. The D3 crosses the line in 1 minute 26.22 seconds. Now for the V60 Polestar. Where the Alpina shocks because it's a diesel, the Volvo shocks because it's a Volvo. A couple of decades ago, along with Audi, Volvo pretty much gave birth to the performance estate market. Volvo had the 850R turbocharged nuttermobile, but since then they've gone back into sort of safe and steady mode, until now. It's got a 3-litre turbocharged petrol engine coupled to a Haldex 4-wheel drive system, so Volvo are still keeping safety pretty much at the forefront of their mind, but it's quite nippy too. 155 miles an hour top speed and 0 to 62 in 5 seconds. Torque is way down on that of the BMW, just 369 pound-foot here. You have to work a little bit harder to get the most from it. The power delivery and the gear changes are both very smooth. I've got 6 gears here. I don't really feel that I need any more. Only 125 V60 Polestars will come to the UK, guaranteeing their rarity. So, is it worth snapping up? Time for a quick one. Here we go. I've got the traction control system off, but the 4-wheel drive system is always on. There's definitely more traction through the corners and out of them with this car. The steering isn't quite as direct as it is in the Alpina, and that might cost a little time. And there's a bit more body roll here as well. Nevertheless, by the halfway point, the Volvo has opened up a slender 1/10 of a second lead. I'm enjoying myself just as much as I was in the Alpina. Slightly different characteristics, but both of them thoroughly pleasant. Here we go, across the finishing line. What does the clock say? It says the Volvo lapped the track 3/10 of a second quicker than the Alpina. There's no doubt the Alpina D3 has serious performance, and being a diesel will offer decent economy. However, if point-to-point speed is your ultimate estate need, then Volvo's rare V60 Polestar is the pick of the pair.